Welcome, class. My name is Captain Casey Bell, and I'll be the company commander for your mission today. I'll be working with my company executive officer, Major Skillman, my company FSO, Captain Williams, and my company first sergeant, Captain Ted Watts. Administrative notes for today. You are going to be second platoon for this operation. In groups of 2 to 3, cadets will brief a 5-paragraph op order to their MS300 instructor. All cadets must take an equal part in the briefing. Digital products and notes are not authorized. All products will be handmade. Op-board briefing notes will be handwritten. You may use an op-board shell, but notes in the shell must be written by you. Groups will brief off of terrain models, both micro and macro, as you see before you. You are still required to produce scheme of maneuver graphics for each phase of your operation to be graded by your instructor on the day of your op order. Filter the company order and break it down to the platoon level. Do not simply repeat what is written in the company order. Do not simply repeat what is written in the company order. Ensure to do proper mission analysis, state key conclusions based on your analysis, and describe how these conclusions drive friendly and enemy actions. Each cadet will produce a warno using the shell distributed with the written op order. This warno is an individual effort and is worth 10 points out of a possible 150 for op order 1. Products required for grading: a friendly task organization, platoon operations overlay on a 1 in 25 map, enemy line wire diagram, enemy situation template, a concept sketch and course of action statement, scheme of maneuver graphic overlays by phase of the operation, fires overlay on a 1 in 25 map, a TT LODAC table and fires overlay with respective targets, and a terrain model. Task organization for today. We are Charlie Company 128 Infantry. Our task: destroy the enemy command post on objective Seneca. Purpose: deny the enemy's ability to conduct mission command. We'll have 2 60mm mortar attachments. Their task: secure MFP1. Purpose: support 2nd Platoon on objective Seneca with IDF. 1st Platoon, Charlie Company 128. Their task: ambush to destroy enemy reserve in vicinity of objective Mohawk, located here. Their purpose: prevent 2nd Platoon from being enveloped by the enemy reserve force. 2nd Platoon, that is you. Your task: destroy the enemy command post on objective Seneca, located here. Your purpose: deny the enemy's ability to conduct mission command. 3rd Platoon, Shaping Operation 2. Their task: secure Alpha Alpha Liberty, located here. On order, follow and support 2nd Platoon. Their purpose: allow 2nd Platoon to destroy the enemy command post, and on order, enable 2nd Platoon's exfil off of objective Seneca. I will be followed by my company XO.
First, I'm going to orient you to the terrain model. We have the 8-3 northing to the north. It's the 7-9 northing to the south. We also have the 8-0-5 easting to the east, to the 7-8 easting to the west. Our grid lines are denoted by white string. Our water features are denoted by blue, as well as this creek here. And we have a restrictive firing line denoted in red. Our ridges are denoted through the terrain, throughout the terrain model. And the town of Mountainville is denoted by this wooden block here. Roads are denoted in black string. Area of operations. We're operating in AO Egypt. Our company AO is bounded by the 8-3 northing to the north, the 7-8 northing to the south, the 8-1 easting to the east, and the 7-8 easting to the west. We have Mount Rascal here in the center of our terrain model, which is a dominant terrain feature. We also have Hill 350 and Hill 381. Additionally, we have Burke Mountain to the south. Water features throughout the AO. We have Popolopen Lake to the south, Beaver Pond, Wilkins Pond, Sutherland Pond, and Pond 258. We also have Mineral Springs Brook that runs generally east to west throughout our AO. For MSRs, we have Mineral Springs Road that runs into our AO from the north and works to the south. We additionally have Firebreak 15, which is a major north-south road running throughout our AO, also referred to as MSR Honda. Additionally to the south, not marked on the terrain model, we have Route 293, which is MSR Brianna. Area of interest. To the northwest, we have the town of Mountainville, which is expected to be an enemy support zone that contains enemy fighters and likely supplies. We do not believe that the enemy has any close air support capability. For artillery, the enemy has a brigade of artillery assets in vicinity of Central Valley to the southwest, approximately at Whiskey Lima 733, 743. We assess that that's likely one battery of D-30s that can range 15 to 21 kilometers. It will likely be triggered after a loss of 2 or more squads. We expect them to have accurate fires within 15 minutes. The enemy also has a brigade reserve to the southwest in vicinity of Central Valley. It's expected to be a platoon of BTR-80s, and we assess that they will be triggered upon ID of mechanized forces or the loss of a platoon or greater. We expect their response time to be within 30 minutes. Obstacles throughout our AO. We have Mineral Springs Brook that runs here. We have Mineral Springs Ridge, specifically the western side of the ridge. It's extremely steep and severely restricted terrain. We have Mount Rascal here, specifically the eastern edge of Mount Rascal, which we assess to be severely restricted terrain. And we expect that there's protective obstacles in vicinity of Objective Seneca and potentially in vicinity of Objective Mohawk and some of the urban areas in Mountainville. Avenues of approach. We have the east side of Lake Popolopan that then bridges into 2 different avenues of approach, generally on the eastern and western sides of Mount Rascal. High-speed avenues of approach from the south, we have Firebreak 15, MSR Honda, and from the north, we have Mineral Springs Road. Key terrain in the AO, Mount Rascal, which dominates the avenues of approach from the south to the north, as well as Hill 381 and Hill 350, which dominates the area in vicinity of Objective Seneca. Observation fields of fire, we anticipate that we likely have 100 to 200 meters of visibility throughout the AO based on the dense vegetation, with the exception of clearings in vicinity of some of the buildings near Objective Seneca and in Mountainville, where you could potentially get up to 300 meters of visibility. Cover and concealment throughout the AO. There's dense vegetation that will provide good concealment, and covers provided by trees, large rocks, and then the buildings in vicinity of Mountainville. Enemy situation. The enemy company is tasked with securing Objective Seneca in order to deny the United States forces freedom maneuver on their battalion AO. Their DO platoon, we assess to be a platoon minus, is tasked with securing Objective Seneca. Their shaping operation 1, operating in vicinity of Sutherland Pond, is tasked with conducting disrupting operations along lines of supply in order to deny our freedom maneuver on the company DO. Their shaping operation 2, operating in vicinity of Mountainville, is tasked with following and supporting the company DO to Objective Seneca in order to enable their friendly mission command. We assess that their equipment they're operating with is likely 3 technical vehicles to support their shaping operation 2, and we believe that they likely have a mortar team that's reinforcing the DO platoon. Battalion S2 assesses the enemy is at 81% strength. Their most likely course of action is to seize Objective Seneca and then reinforce that with their platoon minus from Mountainville, while also conducting reconnaissance patrols and ambush patrols in vicinity of Sutherland Pond to disrupt our freedom of movement towards Objective Seneca. The most dangerous course of action is that this shaping operation has already reinforced Objective Seneca prior to us initiating our attack on Objective Seneca, and the indicator for that would be the shaping operation traveling south on Mineral Springs Road. Brigade mission. 1st Brigade, 10th Mountain, secures AO Mars no later than 10 October in order to enable the government of Ethiopia to reestablish control of AO Mars and set conditions for future operations. Commander's intent, no change. Battalion mission. 128 Infantry retains AO Egypt no later than 10 October in order to enable the government of Ethiopia to reestablish control of AO Mars and set conditions for future operations. Key tasks. Move undetected to the assault positions, destroy enemy on battalion objectives, kill and capture all enemy key leaders, and be postured for defensive operations following the attacks on our objectives for the possible counterattack. End state, friendly. Personnel and equipment is all accounted for and postured for future operations. Terrain, dominate key terrain along major avenues of approach throughout the AO in order to prevent the enemy from operating freely along lines of communication. Enemy, all enemy personnel destroyed or detained. Civilian, civilians avoided on the battlefield, no civcasts, and limit collateral damage. Adjacent units, Alpha Company, the battalion's DO, is operating in TAA Buckner, retaining TAA Buckner. Bravo Company, shaping Operation 2, operating to the southwest, disrupting the enemy and preventing the enemy from entering our AO from the south. I'll be followed by the company commander.
All right, Charlie Company, 128 Infantry, Battalion Shaping Operation 1 attacks to destroy enemy mission command nodes in vicinity of Objective Seneca, Whiskey Lima 789819, located here. No later than 10/0800 October in order to prevent enemy freedom of maneuver on the battalion decisive operation. Commander's intent, expanded purpose. The purpose of this operation is to enable the government of Ethiopia to reestablish control of AO Mars and set the conditions for future regional security. Key task, ensure 1st Platoon is established in their ambush position prior to the initiation of 2nd Platoon's raid, located here. Destroy enemy mission command node on Objective Seneca, right here. Destroy enemy reserve forces on Objective Mohawk, located to the northwest. End state, enemy, all enemy personnel and equipment destroyed in Objective Seneca and Mohawk. Terrain, Objective Seneca and Mohawk free of enemy presence. Friendly, company consolidated and reorganized at TAA Buckner, located here, and prepared for follow-on operations. Civilians, minimize the destruction of both civilian personnel and infrastructure. Concept of the operation. Purpose, deny the enemy's ability to conduct mission command. We will accomplish this by conducting an infiltration. Decisive to this operation is the isolation of Objective Seneca, located here. This is decisive because it will prevent enemy on Objective Seneca from exfiltrating and prevent enemy shaping Operation 1 from reinforcing Objective Seneca, enabling the company decisive operation to destroy the enemy command node. 2nd Platoon is the decisive operation, that is you. Task, destroy enemy command node. Purpose, deny the enemy's ability to conduct mission command. 1st Platoon is shaping Operation 1. Their task, destroy enemy reinforcements on Objective Mohawk, located here. Purpose, prevent 2nd Platoon from being enveloped by enemy reinforcements coming from the northwest. 3rd Platoon, shaping Operation 2. Your task, secure Alpha Alpha Liberty. Purpose, allow company decisive operation to destroy enemy command posts. On order, enable exfil. This operation will be conducted in 5 phases. Phase 1 begins upon receipt of this order and ends with Charlie Company staged in the order of movement and prepared to SP from Gate 57, located here. Key tasks for this phase are PL back briefs, company rehearsals, and all conditions are set for SP no later than 09/2100 October. Phase 2 begins with 3 Charlie SP's Gate 57 no later than 09/2200 October and ends with the company established here in Alpha Alpha Liberty. Key tasks for this phase are SP TAA Buckner no later than 2200, call up checkpoints and establishment of Alpha Alpha Liberty, located here. Phase 3 begins with the establishment of Alpha Alpha Liberty and ends with the platoon staged in their assault positions to the east of Objective Seneca and Mohawk. Key tasks for this phase are infill objectives Mohawk and Seneca undetected and establishment of assault positions on objectives Mohawk and Seneca. Phase 4 begins with 2 Charlie initiating their raid on Objective Seneca no later than 10/08 October and ends with enemy on Objective Seneca and Mohawk destroyed. Key tasks, mission command node on Objective Seneca destroyed, enemy reserve on Objective Mohawk also destroyed. Phase 5 begins with the enemy on Objective Seneca and Mohawk destroyed and ends with all platoons return back to base here at TAA Buckner. I will be followed by fires.
For Operation Arnold, we will have one fire support task of suppress in order to deny enemy freedom of maneuver. For this operation, we will have 60mm mortars, 81mm mortars, and 120mm mortars, all currently located at TAA Buckner. For this phase of the operation, all mortar systems will remain there. During phase 2, the 60mm mortars will be moved and occupy mortar firing position number 1. Target blocks. First platoon, your target blocks are Alpha Bravo 3150 through 3149er. Second platoon, Alpha Bravo 3200 through 3249er. And third platoon, Alpha Bravo 3250 through 3299er. Ammunition available. High explosives at 85 rounds per weapon system. HC smoke at 60 rounds per weapon system. And white phosphorus at 24 rounds only for the 120s. All fires traffic will be monitored by the company fires net and alternate the battalion fires net. Planned targets. First platoon, you have 5 60mm mortar and 3 81mm mortar targets. Second, you have 4 81mm mortar targets and 2 120mm mortars. Third platoon, you have 6 all 120mm mortar targets. Currently, all priorities of fire are with third platoon. We will discuss the changes of priorities of fire throughout the scheme of maneuver. I'll be followed by the company commander.
All right, scheme of maneuver, phase 1. This phase begins with the receipt of this order. During this phase, we will conduct troop leading procedures at TAA Buckner, located here. First platoon will draw 2 additional AT-4s due to the enemy reserves mounted capability located on objective Mohawk. Back briefs will be conducted between 05 and 07 on 9 October, and platoons will be complete with all rehearsals no later than 09, 1200 October. Company rehearsal will be conducted at 09, 1400 October on LZ Owl for squad leaders and above. Rehearsal priorities are actions on the objective, actions on contact, medevac/Kesevac and treatment, and LDA crossings. We will conduct a flyover of each objective with the company Raven at 09, 1900 on October in order to identify enemy on each objective and answer any PIR you give me during your back briefs tomorrow. Final PCC and PCI and company COMEX will be complete no later than 09, 2130 October. This phase ends with the company staged for SP at Gate 57. Order of movement is 3rd Platoon, 1st Platoon, and 2nd Platoon. I will now be followed by the fires officer.
For phase 1 of the operation, all mortar systems will be located at TAA Buckner. Priority of fires is with 3rd Platoon, no pre-planned targets during phase 1, and the platoon leaders will plan and build their TT Lodex and back brief the company commander for the rest of their mission. I'll be followed by the XO.
For sustainment, we'll be in TAA Buckner, and we need to draw the following prior to SP. Class 1, platoons will need to carry 72 hours of chow, 1 camelback, and 2 canteens. For Class 2, no change from the company SOP. For Class 3, submit CLP and LSAT requests no later than 1500 on 8 October. Class 4 does not apply to this operation. Class 5, platoons will need 100% of their unit basic load of ammunition for SP. Frags, incendiary grenades, and flashbangs are available, and I just need requests for those items no later than 1500 on 08 October. Each platoon will draw 30 rounds of 60mm mortar ammo, 20 HE, and 10 Willie Pete for the movement from TAA Buckner up to AA Liberty. Class 6, no change. Class 7, request items no later than the company back brief. Class 8, medics will carry 100% of their unit basic load. Class 9, 3 days of supply of batteries and submit any repair requests at the company rehearsal. Class 10 does not apply. I'll be followed by the company first sergeant.
Regimental aid post is going to be located in TAA Buckner throughout the operation. This is where the doctor will be located. Hand back to the company commander.
All right, phase 2. This phase begins no later than 09/2200 October when 3 Charlie SP's gate 57 located here. Order of movement is 3 Charlie, 1 Charlie, 2 Charlie. Formation will be platoon column. Technique will be tactical foot march, staggered column adjacent to MSR Brianna. During this phase, the FSO and I will be with 1st Platoon, the XO and 1st Sergeant will be with 2nd Platoon. We'll move out on MSR Brianna and move 300 meters northeast until we reach checkpoint 1, vicinity Whiskey Lima 799-788, at the intersection of Route Honda, Firebreak 16, and Route Brianna. We will turn due north on Route Honda for 1,400 meters to checkpoint 2, vicinity Whiskey Lima 802-802. At checkpoint 2, we will move northwest on Route Honda for approximately 600 meters until we reach checkpoint 3, vicinity Whiskey Lima 797-808. At checkpoint 3, we'll move northeast into the woodline for 400 meters to Alpha Alpha Liberty, located here, Whiskey Lima 803-810. 3rd Platoon will then move into the Alpha Alpha and clear the site to ensure no enemy are present. Once 3rd Platoon verifies the Alpha Alpha is clear, the company will occupy the Alpha Alpha with the 12 o'clock position being due north. 3rd Platoon will secure the 10-2 by way of 12. 1st Platoon will secure the 10-6 by way of 8. And 2nd Platoon will secure the 6-2 by way of 4. Actions on contact. If a platoon takes direct fire during this phase, all other platoons will be weapons tight. If that PL in contact assesses there are two or fewer enemy squads, that platoon will fight through the contact. If a platoon makes contact with a larger element, they will fix that element, and I will direct another platoon to flank and destroy that enemy. Actions on IDF. If we receive IDF prior to Alpha Alpha Liberty, the company will move off the road into the woodline, move 1 kilometer generally north, and attempt to ID the enemy observer location in order to call for fire against that position. Obstacles. In the event we encounter any obstacles along our route, we will maintain observation with the lead platoon and maneuver 1st Platoon to clear each side of the route prior to moving 3rd Platoon up to bypass or reduce the obstacle. I will now be followed by fires.
Fires for phase 2 of the operation. The 81mm mortars and the 120mm mortars will remain at TAA Buckner. The 60mm mortars have occupied mortar firing position 1. There are 2 pre-planned targets during phase 2. We have Alpha Bravo 3100 and Alpha Bravo 3110. For both those targets, the enemy is squad in the woodline. The trigger for both targets will be contact from the enemy squad. I will be the primary observer for both targets, and the alternate will be the 3rd Platoon PL. Both of those targets are for 120mm mortars. Both of those targets will have 4 rounds, high explosive, and the primary net for both of those will be the company fires net, alternate battalion fires. 3rd Platoon remains priority of fires throughout this phase.
As the boss said, I'll be located with 2 platoon throughout this. We'll have a rolling CCP from TAA Buckner up the route to Assembly Area Liberty. This means you need to radio through to me with your grid, and I'll punch the FLAs up from Buckner to your position and recover the casualties back to Buckner. Be passing back to the company commander.
Phase 3, schema maneuver. This phase begins when 1 Charlie initiates movement to objective Mohawk from Alpha Alpha Liberty no later than 10/01/30 October, located here. 3 Charlie will assume all security of Alpha Alpha Liberty and will establish 2 OPs in vicinity of Southern Pond and Wilkes Pond, located here, in order to screen enemy movement from the northeast to the company Alpha Alpha. No later than 10/01/30 October, 1 Charlie SPs from Alpha Alpha Liberty and will move along axis of advanced gold towards objective Mohawk. Conduct a leader's recon and establish their ambush no later than 10/05/30 October. 2nd Platoon will initiate movement from Alpha Alpha to objective Seneca no later than 10:02:30 October, moving along axis of advance, black. Second platoon will not cross Mineral Springs Brook until first platoon confirms they are set in their ambush position on objective Mohawk by calling up gold on the company net. I say again, second platoon will not cross Mineral Springs Brook until first platoon confirms they are set in their ambush position on objective Mohawk by calling up gold on the company net. Upon hearing gold, second platoon will initiate their leader's recon of objective Seneca. Once set in raid positions, second platoon will call up black on the company net no later than 10:0800 October. This phase ends once all platoons are established in their respective assault positions, ready to initiate their attacks no later than 10:0800 October. During this phase, the FSO and I will be with 2nd Platoon, and the XO and 1st Sergeant will be with 3rd Platoon. Actions on contact. If either platoon takes contact during this phase, they will fight through the contact and continue to their objective. IDF. Continue movement towards the objective and attempt to identify and neutralize the observer. I will be followed by fires.
Phase 3 for fires. There are no planned fires for Phase 3. Priority for fires has changed. First platoon has priority of the 60mm mortars en route to objective Mohawk. Second platoon has priority of fires for the 81mm mortars en route to objective Seneca. And third platoon retains priority for the 120mm mortars. Platoon leaders, this is your responsibility to develop your fires plans for your movement to your assault positions. I'll be followed by the XO.
There's no change for sustainment during this phase. I'll be followed by the company 1st Sergeant.
3 important locations I want you to know about here. The company casualty collection point will be at Assembly Area Liberty. There'll be an HLZ medevac location at grid Whiskey Lima 788808. Grid Whiskey Lima 788808. The final point will be an ambulance exchange point at the prominent junction set just south of Assembly Area Liberty at grid Whiskey Lima 798808. Whiskey Lima 798808. If you have a casualty en route from the assembly area up to your ORPs, you are to mark the casualty location, and I will punch through with someone from 3rd Platoon to pick that casualty up and recover them back to the assembly area. Handing back to the company commander.
Okay. All right, phase 4, scheme and maneuver. This phase begins once 2 Charlie initiates their raid on objective Seneca located here, no later than 10:0800 October. 2nd Platoon will call up black on the company net and initiate their raid. After the raid initiates, it is likely the enemy QRF will launch from Mountainville, down Mineral Springs Road, and through objective Mohawk to reinforce objective Seneca and be at objective Seneca within 20 minutes. 1st Platoon will ambush the enemy QRF once the company enters 1st Platoon's kill zone. Following the destruction of the QRF, 1st Platoon will move off the kill zone and maintain the ability to observe and destroy any additional enemy reinforcements that attempt to reinforce objective Seneca. 1st Platoon will remain in position until 2nd Platoon has completed actions on and confirms the destruction of the enemy CP on the company net by calling up jackpot. I say again, calling up jackpot. Once 2nd Platoon has crossed to the east of Mineral Springs Brook, located here, 1st Platoon will begin movement back to Alpha Alpha Liberty. This phase ends with all 1st and 2nd Platoon back here in Alpha Alpha Liberty. I will now be followed by fires.
Phase 4 fires. There's no change priorities throughout this phase. However, the PLs are responsible for developing their detailed fires plan from the movement of the ORP onto their respective objectives. I'll be followed by the XO.
No change to sustainment for phase 4. I'll be followed by the company 1st Sergeant.
Platoons, I want you to identify casualty collection points for your plans on the objective. I will look to punch forward with some members from 3 Platoon to your casualty collection points and move them back to the assembly area as the assault through the positions goes on. Once everyone is back in the assembly area, when we've completed our mission, I'll look to use ambulance exchange point 1 and use the FLAs to take the casualties back down to TAA Buckner. Passing back to the company commander.
Phase 5, schema maneuver. This phase begins with 1st and 2nd Platoon reconsolidated at Alpha Alpha Liberty, located here. Once 1st and 2nd Platoon are back at Alpha Alpha Liberty, 3rd Platoon will recall both of their OPs, and the XO will ensure supplies and ammunition are appropriately cross-loaded across the company. Once the entire company is at Alpha Alpha Liberty, and we have confirmed 100% men, weapons, and equipment, we will begin movement back to TAA Buckner, moving along our alternate route towards Long Pond Mountain. Once we reach the bottom of Long Pond Mountain, we will move southwest, skirting the dirt trail toward ASR Honda. Once we reach ASR Honda, we will move to checkpoint 1 and then to TAA Buckner along ASR Honda. Order of movement will be 1st Platoon, 2nd Platoon, 3rd Platoon. The FSO and I will be with 2nd Platoon. The XO will be with 1st Platoon. And the 1st Sergeant will be with 3rd Platoon. Formation will be a company column. Platoon column until we reach ASR Honda, where we will then take up a tactical foot march formation. This phase ends when all platoons arrive safely back at Tactical Assembly Area, Buckner. I will be followed by fires.
Phase 5 fires. There is no change for this phase of the operation. I'll be followed by the XO.
Once platoons have consolidated back at AA Liberty, this is going to be your opportunity to cross-level on any items that you may need. Priority is going to be Class 1, Class 3, and Class 5. I'll be followed by the company first sergeant.
With the company set back in Assembly Area Liberty, I need first platoon sergeants to come up and physically brief me that they've accounted for all their men. That way we'll then push off down to TAA Buckner, accounting for everyone before we go. I'll hand you back to the company commander.
All right, team, this concludes our brief. Happy hunting.